In fact, we have another expert, a meteorologist, Andy Hazelton, joining us now with his latest on the storm, when and where to expect Erin to have the most impact. Good morning, Andy.
Good morning.
Morning. Yeah, it's moving off to the northeast now. Finally, starting to kind of get a move on after being slow for a few days, and it looks like the probably the biggest impacts will be along the Outer Banks, where we'll have that strong northeast flow along the Outer Banks of North Carolina, and some coastal flooding, and then certainly rip currents and waves all along the North Carolina and the Mid Atlantic coast. So we're thankful that the worst of it is obviously staying offshore, but you can, anytime you have a hurricane, a large hurricane like this out over the Atlantic and making a close pass, the water can be a danger. So definitely encourage people to stay vigilant and stay off the beach and respect the lifeguards.
Yeah, this threat will remain for the next couple of days, right?
Yeah, but yeah, because the storm will, it's like I said, it's kind of starting to lift north, and then it'll lift north and northeast and eventually accelerate south, kind of between the United States and Bermuda and south of Canada. So we're thankful that it's not going to be hitting anybody directly, but obviously for another couple days, we're still going to have these strong northeast winds along the coast, and that can pile up some water. And I know they've done some evacuations in the Outer Banks and things like that. So a couple more days of this, and then hopefully things will be able to get back to normal.
One of the things we were hearing earlier was the circumference or the diameter of the storm, 800 miles, saying that is just showing you the power of the storm. Is this a one-off, or does this speak to you of what we're going to be seeing during storm season, hurricane season going forward, with those warming water temperatures, or these larger scale storms becoming the norm?
Yeah, well, the Atlantic's been warming up this year. We had kind of a quiet start to the season, then sort of all at once with Erin, and now as we get into the peak of hurricane season, we probably expect to see more activity, and we'll see where they go, but certainly this rapid intensification may become more common as water's warm, and then as storms gain latitude, as they move north, they tend to grow like this, and this one's been around for a long time, and that also tends to give you a bigger storm. And so, certainly something we're going to have to watch as we move here into the peak of the season.
As you're watching, are there any other storms developing that you have an eye on, or not? Nothing yet. Just Erin.
There's a couple things out in the middle of the Atlantic that the National Hurricane Center is keeping an eye on. Nothing that looks like an imminent threat. We may hopefully have a little bit of a break here after this one, but the climatological, the average peak of the season is usually around September 10th, and so we're coming up on that now. So probably several more weeks to go.
All right, Andy Hazelton, thanks so much for being here on Connect America. Appreciate it.